Alright guys, Dreadnought's back today with another review, and we're going to be looking at one of the figures from the Marvel Legends Infinite Series Target exclusive Avengers 3-pack with Ultron, Hulk, and Vision. If you're looking for this set, Target currently has it in stock in stores, and if you're willing to do just a little extra legwork, you can get a great deal like I did on this set. Target's currently using the same SKU number for this set as the previously released Radioactive Man 3-pack that was clearance priced, and you see that there. So if you're willing to take this bad boy up front to customer service, have them price match it with the online website price, you can get a great deal also on it. Man, I'm loving that Kirby crackle already, and I can't wait to take a look at that figure. But here's a look at the side with the artwork, Vision, Ultron, and Hulk. Another look at the side of the package here. Same thing, black and white. Nothing going on top or on bottom. And we'll take a look at the back of the package, and you can see some nice character bios there. If you'd like to pause them and read them, there's Vision and Hulk, and there's Ultron there at the end. So let's crack this thing open and take a look at one of the figures. And here's Vision out of the package and looking pretty cool overall. I gotta say, I'm liking the white and the transparency overall. This was a look that was back in the West Coast Avengers comics when he came back and he was emotionless. I personally would have preferred, probably a more classic looking Vision over the last version we got if we were going to get a repaint. But I know a lot of collectors have really been clamoring for a white version as well. So I think Hasbro delivered for them in this figure. And as we get a closer look at the paint and sculpting, I did remove the cape so we could take a closer look, and I had some issues with the cape. I'll talk about those in a moment. But just looking at the head sculpt here, you can see it looks pretty good overall. It's got a little extra paint or plastic there on the lips, which I'm not too fond of, but from a distance you really can't tell. The little center jewel or thing there, it's painted clean, looks nice, like the silver paint app on it. The eyes didn't come out great, but they're not horrible. Black with a little center silver dot in there for the pupil. It's really off on both of them, but from a distance they just look black, so you really can't tell. The figure's cast in transparent plastic, and it just has that white overspray, over it to give it the white look and the depth to it. Some nice line work here on the chest. Looks very comic accurate. Same thing down here on the waist. We've seen this body mold before. Not much different there when sculpting. Looks good overall. One thing I will point out though is on the feet. You can see he's got toes. And for those of you that are wondering, he was drawn with toes, a lot back in West Coast Avengers. So that's, not uncommon for him to have the toes. So that's actually comic accurate there. And they did a good job sculpting those. Nice Vision toes there. No paint really going on the back of the figure. You can tell they used the white overspray completely on the front, except for the back of the head there. It's just completely transparent on the back everywhere else. And as I was saying, I had some issues with the cape. I'll show you that real quick. The piece overall looks good. It's that clear plastic. You can see my fingers through there, and you can tell it's got that white overspray that gets more transparent at the bottom. At the top it's pretty thick. Looks good overall. But the big issue I have is with this piece in here, and it was molded the same as the previous capes, the Grim Reaper and the previous Vision cape. But because this softer plastic, and it's very soft, and I guess it's because it's that transparent plastic, this piece is warped, and you can kind of bend it because it is soft, but it doesn't fit into his back really well. So I'll try and show you that as we put it on here. And it's really difficult to get it to line up, and then once you do, you really have to force it on to get it to stay. And you can see even after I forced it on, there's some gap in there. It doesn't line up real well, and you can really push it on, but it kind of works itself off like the plastic's expanding. And I normally display my flying characters on flight stands, but I tried actually doing him on a flight stand for the review, and the cape kept popping off. So that's an issue for me. And then also, once you actually get it on, you can see it doesn't line up with his shoulders right. So you kind of have to play with it to get it, how you want it. And if you do it and have him standing, it seems to be okay. So, overall, I'm, disappointed with the cape. And taking a look at articulation, the head moves down just that far, moves up a great amount, great for getting into those flying poses. Does rotate around, has a little bit of pivot here. Arm moves out that far, and be cautious with these joints. It does cause some paint flaking as you're moving around. Does have upper arm rotation, double jointed elbows. The arm does move all the way around. Does have some clickiness in there. Wrist does rotate and has a hinge. Moves in that far and out that far. Ab crunch moves in that far and doesn't really move back. Does have waist rotation, and you can see some more paint flaking there. The upper legs do rotate, but you have to be very cautious with these legs. They move out a great amount, but these do pop off really easily, so be cautious with that. Double jointed knees. Does have a cut at the calf that rotates around. Does have the hinge on the foot. Moves down that far. Moves up that far. Doesn't really rotate around, but it does have that rocker that we all like. And just to get you an idea of how far out these legs will move, there you go. And no peg holes at the bottom of the feet. And here he is next to his previous incarnation, the Marvel Legends Infinite Series Vision on the right there. And you can see our box set Vision measures in right at 6 inches tall. And here he is next to the two figures from the box set, the Hulk on the right and Ultron here on the left. And I've got to say, overall, I'm liking this Vision figure. I like the transparency in the figure. I like the white overspray. I think it's a good look overall, and I like it. Issues aside with the cape, I honestly think those can be fixed, maybe with a little heat. And it may not be an issue for everybody, since it seems to be just an issue with the plastic. So, overall, I've got to say, if you're paying full price for this box set, I'm not sure it's worth the money, especially since they're all repaints, and we seem to have issues with every figure from the box set if you watch the other reviews. That aside, if you can get it at a clearance price or get them to price match it on the website, then, I would say it swings more to a buy. It's worth that for these two figures alone, even if Hulk may be a throwaway figure in my mind. I like these two figures overall, and I think they came out pretty well. If I'm rating them, I'm giving Ultron, the 1 spot, Vision at 2, and then Hulk dead last. And that wraps it up for Vision here, and also concludes our reviews on the entire box set. Hope you guys enjoyed all three, but if you like the Vision one here, please give me a like. Also, I've got more content, more reviews coming down the pipeline and later this week. So please click on that subscribe button. I am still trying to build an audience. Also, I've got links for Facebook, Twitter, and ToyArk in the description below. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you soon. Legs move out, or they just pop off.